The wind screamed across the empty white land of Antarctica. It was night, but the sky glowed faintly with green and purple lights from the aurora. Near the Ross ice shelf, 3 humans moved through the storm, their heavy suits covered in frost. Dr. Amelia Cross led the small team. She was a geologist, sent here to study the shifting ice. Her breath came out in clouds as she spoke into her radio. The sensors showed a huge crack opening under the ice. "We need to see it before the storm closes it." Behind her, technician Luis Torres dragged the equipment, and pilot Mark Danner followed, scanning the sky. We're far from any base. Their snow crawler parked a kilometer behind them. Then the ground shook. The ice groaned like a living thing, and a deep boom echoed beneath their feet. Luis cursed. That didn't sound like normal ice movement. The snow beneath them split. A bright blue light shone from the crack, piercing through the darkness. The wind seemed to pause for a second, as if the entire continent was holding its breath. They carefully moved closer. The crack was wide enough to see something far below, something not ice. It was metal, dark, smooth, and far larger than any submarine or building. It stretched into the shadows, glowing faintly along sharp alien lines. Symbols pulsed across its surface, symbols no one had ever seen before. Dr. Cross whispered, "This isn't human." Her voice trembled, not from the cold. Luis aimed a sensor at it. The device beeped wildly, detecting strange energy waves. This thing still powered somehow. After who knows how long, they sent a quick message to their base. But before a reply came, a loud clang echoed from deep below. The metal moved. At first it was just a ripple, like the hull was alive, and faint lights appeared, glowing like veins across its body. The ground shook again. A section of ice collapsed, revealing more of the massive structure. It was shaped like a ship. But unlike any ship made by humans, it had no windows, no clear engines, only smooth black surfaces and glowing runes. Mark took a step back. "I don't like this. We shouldn't be here." But Amelia couldn't look away. She reached out and touched the edge of the ship where the metal rose near the surface. It was warm. The moment her glove brushed against it, every light on the ship flared to life. The blue glow turned to deep red. Strange symbols raced across the surface faster and faster, as if the ship was waking from a deep sleep. The wind howled. Again, stronger than before. The ice around them cracked louder then. A voice not through their radios, not through the air, was inside their minds. A deep alien voice speaking words they didn't understand, yet somehow could feel Thyrix. Vessel. Status. Damaged. Intruders detected. Initiating restoration. Luis grabbed Amelia's arm. What the hell was that? Who said that? None of them had an answer. Beneath their feet, the ship began to hum. The sound was low, like a heartbeat, shaking the ground with every pulse. The red light shifted to gold, and a circular hatch on. The ship's surface slowly opened, revealing a staircase of glowing steps descending into darkness. Mark raised his weapon. "No way. We're not going down there." But Amelia couldn't resist. The glow pulled her in like a magnet. She took a single step toward the hatch and the hum grew louder. Almost excited, suddenly their radios came alive with panicked voices. "From base. Team Alpha, retreat immediately. You just picked up a massive energy surge from your location. Satellites show something." Rising from under the ice. Before they could respond, the entire ice shelf beneath them shifted. A huge section broke free, sending shards of ice flying into the air. The snow crawler in the distance toppled over as the ground tilted. The ship began to rise, slowly. The massive black vessel pushed through the ice, glowing brighter, shedding frost as if it had been asleep for centuries. It didn't make a sound, yet the air vibrated around it. It was at least the size of a skyscraper, its hull scarred but alive, pulsing like a living thing. The humans stumbled back, watching, in terror and awe. For a moment, the storm stopped completely. The air still and silent. Then the alien voice spoke again, louder this time, in a language they could almost understand. "Unit 47 online. Repairing, reconnecting to the network, awaiting orders." "Amelia, Looked at her team, her face pale. There is no network. Whatever left this ship here, it's gone. Probably for millions of years. Louis swallowed hard. Then who's it waiting for? Before anyone could answer, the ship's glowing. Lights turned into a beam, shooting directly into the sky. It pierced through the clouds and into space's signal. Calling to someone or something far away, far above Earth, in the silent darkness of space, something ancient answered. And the humans standing in the frozen wasteland felt the ground tremble as the ship's hum grew into a roar. The last thing they heard before the night swallowed them was the alien voice saying, "Reactivation complete, awaiting new master." The black ship floated above the broken ice like a sleeping giant, its golden lights pulsing slowly. Around it, the storm had stopped completely. The air was unnaturally still. Now the three humans, Amelia, Luis, and Mark, stood frozen, staring up at the enormous vessel. None of them spoke. None of them breathed. Then, without warning, a deep vibration rolled through the air. The ship tilted slightly, its hull shifting like muscle under skin. Small panels opened along its sides, releasing glowing particles that spread like fireflies before sinking back into the metal. Luis whispered, his voice shaky, "It's fixing itself." And it was. The scars and cracks along the hull slowly vanished as if the ship was healing. Pieces of shattered ice were pulled toward it by invisible forces, melting into liquid and fusing with its black surface. Mark gripped his rifle tighter. "I don't care what this thing is. We need to leave. Now." Before they could move, a glowing sphere emerged from the ship's side, floating toward them. It stopped a few meters away, hovering silently. The sphere emitted a soft hum, and a projection appeared above a tan alien figure, tall and thin, with 4 arms and a crown of horns. Its voice echoed directly into their minds, the words broken but clear. "Thyrix vessel. Unit 47. Power restored. New operators detected. Identify." Amelia took a cautious step forward. "We're human. From Earth." Who are you?" The alien image tilted its head, as if studying her. Then the projection shifted, showing stars, planets, and great battles fought in the darkness of space. Gigantic ships clashed with fleets. Entire moons were shattered. In the center of every image was a black ship, this ship ripping apart enemy forces like they were nothing. The alien voice returned. "Unit 47, last of the Thyrix dreadnoughts. Weapon of final war, mission, incomplete, awaiting master." Mark cursed under his breath. A warship. They left a warship here. Why? In what war? Before anyone could ask more, alarms from their radios screamed. The voice of their base commander barked through the static. "Team Alpha, multiple satellites just went offline above your location. Something is sending out a massive energy pulse into space. If you can shut it down," the humans had. No control. The ship's lights flared, and the glowing sphere spoke again. "Signal sent. Coordinates broadcast. Allies, or enemies, will come." Amelia's eyes widened. "You're calling someone? Who? The Thyrix?" The alien projection flickered. "Thyrix extinct. All enemies remain. Prepare." Then the sphere vanished back into the ship. The vessel let out a low, bone-deep hum. Its massive hull shifted again, and glowing lines formed along its sides. With a sudden flash, the ship lifted higher, rising hundreds of meters above the ground. The snow beneath it was sucked upward, swirling around like a storm, even though there was no wind. Luis grabbed Amelia's arm. "We need to get out of here before this thing." The ship spoke, not the projection, the ship itself. The sound wasn't heard through ears. It was felt in their bones. Operator required. Chosen. Amelia Cross. Amelia froze. "What? Me?" "No, why me?" A beam of golden light shot down from the ship, surrounding her. Her suit sensors went wild, detecting radiation, energy spikes, everything off the charts. But she felt nothing. It's just a warmth, a strange calm, like the ship was speaking to her soul. Mark aimed his rifle at the beam. Let her go. Ship ignored him. Inside Amelia's mind, a whisper formed, soft but clear. You touched the hull. You awakened me. You will fly. Before she could answer, visions filled her head stars. Strange weapons, alien worlds burning, and the feeling of immense speed and power. Her knees buckled as the images poured in. Then, just as suddenly, the beam vanished, and Amelia collapsed. Into the snow, Mark and Luis rushed to her side. She was pale, but awake. Her eyes glowed faintly gold for a second, then returned to normal. She looked at them, her voice shaking. I think it bonded with me. It showed me how it fights, what it can do. This isn't just a ship. It's alive. Before they could respond, a sound echoed from the sky, a distant, low roar, like thunder, but deeper. The ship turned, its massive frame rotating with unnatural grace. Its lights pulsed rapidly. Luis looked up and gasped. Far above the clouds, streaks of light moved ships, alien ships. They were descending, fast. Amelia's radio crackled again. Team Alpha, evacuate now. We've detected multiple unidentified crafts entering Earth's atmosphere. They're not human. Repeat, not human. The black ship's voice echoed in their minds one last time. Enemies approaching. Unit 47 will defend. Operator, prepare. And before any of them could move, the ground split again, and the ship vanished, not flying away, but blinking. Out of existence entirely, as if reality itself bent around it. Only the roaring sound of approaching alien ships remained. And the three humans realized one thing. Whatever they had just awakened, the galaxy already knew. The Antarctic sky glowed with fire. Dozens of alien ships cut through the clouds, glowing like burning meteors. Their sharp, insect-like shapes twisted and turned as they descended. Each one was bigger than a human fighter jet, and there were too many to count. Amelia, Luis, and Mark stood frozen on the ice as the roaring crafts streaked overhead. The radio in Amelia's suit screamed, Team Alpha, evacuate! Fleet is not answering hails. They are armed, repeat, armed. But it was already too late. One of the alien ships stopped midair, hovering over them. Its black armor opened, revealing rows of glowing weapons. It aimed directly at the humans. Mark raised his rifle, but his hands trembled. What do? We can't fight this. Before anyone could move, the air cracked. No, not thunder. Not wind. Reality itself ripped apart. The Black Thyrix ship unit 47 appeared out of nothing above the ice, meters from the alien fleet. 1 second there was empty sky, and the next, the massive vessel hung there like a shadow, cast across the stars. The alien ships immediately shifted formation, their weapons glowing red. They opened fire. Beams of energy, fast and bright, tore through the air toward the black ship. But none of them hit. The Thyrix ship moved like no machine should be able to. It didn't it simply wasn't there. Each attack passed through. Where it had been, as it blinked and reappeared meters away, silent and untouchable. Inside Amelia's mind, a voice whispered again. Operator, control accepted. Speak your command. Amelia stumbled back, clutching her head. I don't know how, she shouted. You already know. I gave you my memory. Act. Visions flashed again in her mind. How to guide the ship. How to unleash its weapons. How to move through space as if it were water. She felt her fear fade, replaced by something else: connection. The ship's lights flared gold, and Amelia spoke aloud without realizing. Fire. The black ship obeyed. 2 panels along its sides opened, revealing swirling spheres of golden energy. With no sound, 2 beams shot out thin, precise lines of light that sliced through to alien crafts instantly. The ships didn't explode. They simply came apart, as if their atoms had been separated. The rest of the fleet panicked. They fired everything they had. But the black ship was a predator. They were prey. It darted and blinked across the battlefield, beams and shimmering arcs tearing through the enemy. It never fired wildly. Its shot was exact, lethal, and final. Luis stared, jaw hanging open. One ship, it's destroying them all. Mark's voice was low.
Oh.
It's hunting them. Within minutes, the skies were quiet again. The alien fleet, dozens of warships, was gone, their remains falling like ash into the icy sea. The black ship hovered above, silent, as if the slaughter meant nothing. Then it spoke to Amelia once more. Threat neutralized. Network offline. No Thyrix detected. Awaiting further orders. Amelia shook her head, still trembling. Why? Why are you helping us? Why me? The ship's voice was calm, mechanical, yet almost alive. You awakened me. You are chosen. Thyrix are gone. You will finish their war. Before she could ask what that meant, their radios crackled again. This time, it wasn't the base commander. It was a different voice. A deep, cold voice, speaking in a language that translation software barely understood. Human operators. You have taken a forbidden vessel. Return Unit 47 immediately, or your planet will burn. The signal cut off. Louise swallowed. Hard, who was that? Mark frowned. Not the ones we just fought. Those were scouts. This sounds bigger. The black ship began to hum, louder now. Its golden veins pulsed, spreading across the hull like fire. Enemy response incoming. Heavy fleet detected. Prepare. Amelia looked at the others. Her voice was quiet, but steady. Da-da-da-da, we can't run. Not anymore. Ship, it doesn't. Want to hide it? Wants to fight? Louise pointed at the horizon. Fight who? We don't even know what's coming. As if answering him, the ship projected a hologram into the sky, a star map, glowing above them. Red markers appeared across the galaxy, dozens of them, moving toward Earth. Each marker was the size of a fleet. Mark stared at it, his face pale. That's not an attack. That's an invasion. The ship's voice rumbled in their bones. Engage or perish. Choose operator. Before Amelia could answer, the ship moved again. The humans barely had time to grab hold of nearby straps. Before the entire vessel blinked out of existence, dragging them with it, when their vision cleared, the ice and snow were gone. Earth was below them now, a glowing blue sphere, and just beyond its orbit. A massive alien armada had already arrived. Dozens of Titanic warships, larger than anything humans had ever built, formed a wall around the planet. The Thyrix ship floated. Silently before them, gold lights burning like a predator's eyes. Amelia took a deep breath. Her voice was steady now. Let's see what this thing can really do. The black ship pulsed once, as if pleased. Then it whispered one final word. Into her mind before the battle began, hunt. Far away, across countless light years. The halls of the Galactic Council trembled with panic. The council chamber was a colossal ring-shaped station, orbiting a dying star. Its ceilings high enough to hold entire ships. Representatives from over 200 species floated, stood, or slithered in their private pods. Their voices overlapping in chaos. In the center, a holographic projection showed Earth. Above it floated a black, glowing ship, the Thyrix, Dreadnought Unit 47. Every being in the chamber recognized it. Every being feared it. Counselor Vroth, a massive insectoid creature, slammed its claw against the table. That ship was supposed to be gone. Buried on that cursed planet forever. The Thyrix are extinct, so how's Unit 47 active? A thin, serpent-like delegate coiled tighter around her seat. Extinct or not, the Dreadnought is awake. If the humans control it, we face another dark war. We must destroy Earth immediately before they master it. A deep, guttural voice boomed. From a corner, growled High Commander Drock, a hulking reptilian general. His eyes glowed faintly as he stared at the projection. If we attack too soon, the ship will retaliate. You all remember what it can do. Entire fleets erased. Planets burned. That is why the Thyrix buried it on that primitive world in the first place. It was too dangerous even for them. The chamber grew silent. Everyone knew the stories. Thyrix had been the most feared empire in the galaxy. A race of conquerors whose living warships hunted entire civilizations. But one by one, their enemies united, and the Thyrix were finally destroyed. Or so everyone believed. Unit 47 was the last of its kind, hidden on a backwater planet no one cared about Earth. And now it was awake. Counselor Vroth hissed. We cannot let this continue. If that dreadnought bonds fully with its new pilot, nothing will stop it. We must mobilize the Armageddon fleets. Humanity must surrender, the ship war be eradicated. A dozen voices spoke at once, some in agreement, others in fear, but one voice cut through them all, calm and cold. An ancient, shadowy figure appeared as a projection council overlord Chiasor, the oldest being in the chamber. Its voice was soft, yet every creature fell silent when it spoke. Do you not see? This is no longer about humanity. The ship did not wake by chance. It chose a new master, the signal it sent. Chiasor pointed to the stars on the projection. Was not to summon us, it was to summon something far worse. The swarm will hear it. Murmurs rippled through the chamber. The swarm, a name spoken only in fear. It was not a species, but a nightmare hive of biomechanical monstrosities that consumed entire worlds for energy. The last time they appeared, whole sectors burned. Before the council drove them back, if the swarm had heard the signal, galaxy would soon face another apocalypse. Chiasor's hollow eyes turned toward the projection of Earth. Send the ultimatum. Humanity refuses to surrender Unit 47, the council will burn their world to glass. And if they still resist... It paused, its voice dropping to a whisper. Then we pray the swarm arrives first. Perhaps they will finish what we cannot. On Earth, Amelia Cross stood on the bridge of the Therix dreadnought, staring at the alien armada surrounding her planet. Mark and Louise stood beside her, both pale, both gripping the railings as the ship floated silently in orbit. The ship's holographic interface projected the incoming transmission. A towering hologram of a council officer appeared, its 6 eyes glowing. Humans, you have activated a forbidden weapon of the Thyrex. Surrender the ship immediately. If you refuse, Earth will be destroyed. Amelia's throat went dry. Happens if we give it up? The officer's mandibles clicked in a smile. You will die anyway, but your planet may be spared. Luis muttered under his breath, great options. Before Amelia could respond, the ship itself spoke, its voice deep and unshaken. Do not surrender. The council fears me. They know what comes. If we fall, so will they. Amelia glanced at the glowing veins running across the walls of the ship. Why us? Why did you wake up now? The ship pulsed faintly, almost like a heartbeat, because the true enemy stirs. The swarm is coming. Thyrex made me to stop them. But Thyrex are gone. Only you remain. Mark's hands tightened on his weapon. And what happens if we don't stop them? The ship was silent for a long moment. Then its lights dimmed, and its voice rumbled in their bones. Then there will be nothing left to save. Not Earth, not the Council, not the galaxy. Alien hologram on the screen repeated its demand. Last warning. Surrender Unit 47, or Earth burns. Amelia took a deep breath. She looked at her team, then at the vast council fleet waiting for their answer. Her voice was steady. Tell your council, no, the hologram hissed, its eyes flaring with rage. Then you will burn first. The projection vanished. Red lights flashed across the council fleet as their weapons charged. Unit 47's. Golden veins flared, its power surging like a living thing. The ship's voice whispered to Amelia one more time. Now, operator, do you wish to survive, or do you wish to hunt? The first council ships opened fire. The black Thyrex ship floated in orbit, silent as death. While the sky around Earth turned red, hundreds of council warships had surrounded the planet. Their guns glowed, ready to fire. From space, it looked like a cage of light closing around. Earth, inside Unit 47, Amelia stood on the glowing bridge. The alien controls shifted and reshaped to fit her hands as if the ship was alive. Luis and Mark stood beside her, pale, gripping the railings as the air vibrated with power. The ship's voice whispered into Amelia's mind. Hostile fleet. Detected. Estimated strength. 600 ships. Engage or retreat? Amelia looked at her crew. Retreat to where? They'll chase us across the galaxy? Mark nodded grimly. Then we fight. Luis muttered. We're one ship against 600. The ship pulsed, its golden veins brightening until the whole bridge glowed. Correction. They are 600 targets. We are Unit 47. They will fall. Before Amelia could reply, alarms blared. The Council ships fired first. Dozens of massive beams lit up space, converging on the dreadnought. The explosions blinded the viewports as energy swallowed the ship. Luis shouted, Shields! Do we even have shields? But the Tharic ship didn't block the attacks. It didn't. Need to, when the light cleared, Unit 47 was simply gone. The Council fleet scanned wildly, their sensors confused. Then the dreadnought reappeared behind them, silent as a ghost. Its voice rumbled softly, engaging. Observe. Panels along its sides unfolded, revealing glowing, swirling cores of golden energy. With no sound, 5 beams shot outward, thin, as needles, but unstoppable. Each one touched a warship and the ships didn't explode. They simply vanished. Gone in an instant, erased from existence. Mark gripped the railing tighter. That wasn't a weapon. It was something else entirely. The dreadnought moved again, blinking across the battlefield faster than any I could follow. Each time it appeared, another Council ship disappeared, erased without debris. Without screams, without time to react. Panic spread through the enemy fleet. Some ships opened fire wildly. Others tried to retreat, and no matter how fast they moved, the dreadnought was faster. It didn't chase. It hunted, phasing through their formations like a predator moving through water. Amelia's hands moved instinctively across the controls, though she didn't fully understand them. The visions the ship had shown her, the memories of ancient battles guided her actions. Luis stared at the displays in disbelief. One ship, it's winning. It's winning against 600 warships. The battle lasted minutes, not hours. When the last Council cruiser tried to flee, the black ship pulsed once, releasing a silent wave of golden light. The wave swept across space like a tide, and the remaining ships froze mid-flight, their systems dead. Then one by one, they drifted into Earth's atmosphere unmanned, as the dreadnought erased their crews without a trace. Silence returned to orbit. Unit 47 floated above Earth, glowing softly, its golden veins dimming again. Amelia exhaled, her hands shaking. It's over, for now. The ship's voice echoed, calm but unyielding. This was a warning strike. It's a true enemy approaches. The swarm will not fall so easily. Mark frowned. The swarm? You said before they consume worlds? What are they exactly? The ship's lights flickered, forming a projection in the air. A star map appeared, showing countless systems. One by one, red markers blinked, and then entire stars went dark as black clouds consumed them. They are not a fleet. They are a living hunger, machines fused with flesh built only to consume. They devour suns, planets, ships. They are endless. Luis shook his head, and they're coming here. Yes, the signal I sent woke them. They are already on their way, and only I can stop them. But I cannot do it alone. Amelia clenched her fists. What do you need? The ship pulsed brighter, its voice deepening. Connection. Your mind, your body, your will merged with mine. Only then will my full power awaken. Mark stepped forward, alarmed. You mean, you want to turn her into part of you? Yes. Without it, Earth will fall. The Council will fall. The galaxy will burn. Decide quickly. Before anyone could speak, the ship's sensors flared red. A shadow appeared on the star map. Not a ship, not a fleet. A swarm. A living, shifting cloud of biomechanical creatures, the size of a small moon. Moving through space faster than light, we're still far away, but approaching fast. The ship's voice rumbled one last time. You've seen the Council? They were nothing. Swarm is everything. Decide, operator. Merge with me, or watch your world vanish. Amelia looked down at her hands, trembling. She looked at Earth, so small and fragile beneath them. Then she looked at her crew. Her voice was quiet but firm. Do it. Whatever it takes. Do it. Ship's golden veins flared blindingly bright, wrapping the bridge in light. Amelia felt the world vanish around her as the ship's voice whispered in her mind. Not as a machine, but as something alive. Then we will become one. And together, we will hunt the swarm. The bridge of the Black Thyrix dreadnought glowed with a blinding golden light. Amelia Cross felt her body floating, weightless, as the ship's voice filled her mind. Integration begins. You will not be harmed. You will become more. Vision blurred as streams of light flowed from the ship's walls, wrapping around her arms and chest like living vines. The energy felt warm, not painful. It pulsed like a heartbeat, in perfect rhythm with her own. Luis gripped the railing, his eyes wide. She's floating. What's it doing to her? Mark raised his weapon instinctively, though he knew it would be useless. It's merging her with itself, making her part of the ship. The ship's voice echoed in their heads, calm. But unyielding, she must guide me fully. Without her, I cannot fight what is coming. Amelia gasped as visions flooded her mind against star systems burning. Fleets disintegrating, entire worlds consumed by a crawling living shadow. The swarm, countless biomechanical creatures, each the size of a building, moving like a single living ocean, devouring everything in their path. She felt the ship's memory, its purpose, and its fear. Even Unit 47, the deadliest weapon of the Thyrix, had been designed for this threat alone. The light dimmed. Amelia floated gently back to the floor. Her eyes glowed faintly gold as she opened them. She felt different. Her heartbeat was steady, her senses sharper. She could hear the hum of the ship as if it were her own pulse. Luis stepped forward, hesitant. Amelia, are you still you? She looked at him, her voice calm but distant. Yes, but I can feel everything now. The ship, the systems, even space itself. It's like I can see through its eyes. Before anyone could speak, alarms flared across the bridge. The ship's glowing veins pulsed red. A projection appeared above them, the solar system far beyond Pluto. A shadow had entered their space. It wasn't one object. It was millions tiny shapes, forming a massive cloud that blotted out stars. The swarm had arrived. Mark's face went pale. That's not a fleet. That's a planet-sized thing moving toward us. The ship's voice rumbled low. Swarm density. Extreme. Estimated time to reach Earth orbit. 12 hours. Planetary defenses. Insufficient. Luis clenched his fists. The council's gone. They'll probably run instead of helping us. It's just us, isn't it? The ship pulsed softly. We will not face them alone. I am activating my forges. Drones will be built. Weapons will awaken. But I require time. Panels across the ship's hull opened, releasing thousands of small, insect-like machines, scattered into space, gathering debris, ice, and even pieces of wrecked council ships from the last battle. Slowly, the dreadnought began growing. New plates of black armor formed along its body. Smaller ships, drones, fighters, and escorts took shape around it, as if it were giving birth to a fleet. Mark watched in awe. It's building an army. But Luis frowned. Will it be enough? Look at that thing. The holographic projection zoomed closer to the swarm. The living cloud writhed and pulsed as it moved, millions of individual creatures forming massive tendrils. Each creature had metallic shells, glowing red cores, and wings made of shifting energy. They weren't just coming for Earth, they were eating everything in their way, including asteroids and moons. Tearing them apart for fuel, Amelia gripped the alien controls, her golden-lit eyes narrowing. We'll make it enough. We have to. The ship's voice spoke again, quieter now. Operator, there is one more upgrade. You have merged with me partially, but to unlock my full arsenal, you must become more. Luis looked at Amelia nervously. More? What does that even mean? The ship answered for her. If she accepts, her mind will merge fully with mine. She will control the fleet directly as an extension of herself. Her body will remain, but she will no longer be only human. Mark shook his head. That sounds like a death sentence, or worse. Amelia's gaze stayed fixed on the projection of the swarm closing in. Her voice was steady. If it's the only way to save Earth, I'll do it. The ship pulsed once, almost like a nod. Very well. Prepare. The swarm is accelerating. Time is short. The projection shifted again. Swarm had just crossed Neptune's orbit, consuming its moons in minutes. What had been a planet's worth of satellites and debris was now gone, devoured and converted into more of the swarm. Earth's military frequencies lit up the comms. Any ships? Respond. The swarm is coming. They've already bypassed Neptune. We have no weapons to stop them. Mark listened to the desperate calls, his jaw tightening. They're not even slowing down. We're the only thing standing between Earth and that nightmare. Amelia stood at the center of the bridge, golden light swirling faintly around her hands. She could feel the drones outside like they were her own limbs, feel the dreadnought's energy cores burning like her own heartbeat. For the first time, she wasn't afraid. Her voice was calm, cold, and certain. Then we'll stand. Make them regret coming here. The ship's voice echoed in every mind aboard. No longer cold, but carrying something like pride. We are Unit 47, and this is only the beginning. Outside, the newly formed Black Fleet aligned in formation, the golden glow of their cores lighting up the darkness. Ahead, the swarm's endless shadow stretched across the stars, growing larger by the second. In 12 hours, the first battle for Earth would begin. And for the first time in history, humanity wasn't just defending its home, it was preparing to hunt the thing that threatened it. The solar system had never seen a storm like this. From the edge of space, the swarm descended a living ocean of metal and flesh. Millions of biomechanical creatures surged forward, their glowing red cores beating like hearts. One, a single living weapon, swallowing moons, asteroids, and everything in their path. At the center of this dark tide floated something even larger, massive hive beast the size of a city, its body covered in writhing tentacles and spinning rings of energy. Its deep, thunderous pulses could be felt even from Earth, between the swarm and Earth. One force stood ready, Unit 47. The dreadnought hovered at the head of a growing Black Fleet. Dozens of newly built drone ships circling it like hunting beasts. Golden light pulsed from their cores, illuminating the darkness as the fleet aligned in tight formation. On the bridge, Amelia stood at the center, her eyes glowing gold. She felt no fear. The integration with the ship had changed her. She could feel every drone systems, every weapon, every shift of energy like it was part of her own body. Mark and Louise stood behind her, gripping their stations as the dreadnought, prepared for war. The ship's deep voice echoed through the bridge. Swarm arrival in 2 minutes. Combat systems online. Fleet link established. Operator, command is yours. Amelia raised her hand. The fleet moved instantly, spreading into 3 formations. The dreadnought's golden veins flared brighter, drawing power from deep within. Mark looked out at the dark horizon of creatures. Millions of them. We're supposed to stop all that? Luis gave a grim smile. We're not stopping them. We're killing them. The first wave hit. Thousands of swarm creatures darted ahead, their bodies shifting into sharp, blade-like shapes as they accelerated. Red beams shot from their cores, striking toward the fleet like a rain of death. Amelia's mind moved faster than thought. She willed the fleet to split, and the black drones obeyed, weaving through the incoming fire like liquid shadows. Unit 47 didn't dodge, simply disappeared. 1 second it was there, the next it phased across space. Reappearing behind the advancing swarm, golden energy surged along its hull, and a deep, bone-shaking hum filled the void. Engage. The dreadnought unleashed its arsenal. 5 golden beams tore through the darkness, each one vaporizing hundreds of swarm creatures at once. Entire sections of the tide were burned away, their glowing cores bursting like dying stars. Time, the drones swarmed outward, releasing crackling arcs of energy that chained through the enemy. turning hundreds more into dust. But the swarm adapted. The hive beast pulsed, and the creatures shifted, merging into massive, spiked clusters. The clusters spun, creating barriers of living metal that deflected the dreadnought's beams. Then they struck back. Hundreds of glowing orbs launched from the swarm, homing in on the Black Fleet. The orbs split mid-flight, becoming swarms of razor-like shards that sliced through space faster than light. 3 of the smaller drones were torn apart instantly, their black holes shredded into fragments. Luis slammed a hand against the console. They're learning. Need more power or we're dead. The ship's deep voice rumbled in Amelia's mind. Operator, unleash the core. She hesitated. What happens if I do? My true weapon activates, but it will drain your energy as well. You may not survive the strain. Mark turned toward her. Amelia, if you do this, it could kill you. Her glowing eyes stayed fixed on the swarm. If we don't, everyone dies anyway. Do it. The dreadnought's golden veins turned white-hot, pulsing so brightly that even the swarm paused. Panels along the ship's spine split open, revealing a massive sphere of spinning light. The core, it pulsed once, then exploded outward in a silent wave. The wave didn't just destroy, it erased. Every swarm creature it touched vanished, ripped apart at the atomic level. Dozens of massive clusters and thousands of smaller creatures were simply gone, leaving only empty space. Even the massive hive beast staggered, one of its energy rings shattering under the blast. But the ship dimmed. Its golden light flickered, and Amelia dropped to one knee, clutching her chest as her breath came in ragged gasps. Luis rushed to her side. She's burning out. The link is overloading her. The ship's voice growled low. Operator must endure. The core must charge again. The swarm didn't stop. Millions had been wiped out. More poured forward. Their glowing cores pulsing brighter as they swarmed around the dreadnought like a tidal wave. The hive beast roared, a deep vibration that made even space tremble. Its remaining energy rings spun faster, gathering power for a single devastating strike. Mark gritted his teeth. We can't take another hit like that. If that thing fires, Earth is finished. Amelia, still on her knees, forced herself to stand. Her golden-lit eyes burned brighter. No, Earth isn't finished. They are. She raised her hand again, channeling every bit of strength she had left. The dreadnought pulsed once more, vanishing and reappearing directly above the hive beast. Its core spun faster than ever, glowing so brightly it looked like a newborn sun. The ship's voice thundered one final command in unison with Amelia's own. Hunt. The core fired. A beam of pure white light, wide as a mountain, shot downward, tearing through the hive beast and every swarm creature around it. The explosion lit the solar system, brighter than the sun itself. When the light faded, the hive beast was gone. What remained of the swarm broke apart, retreating into the dark void, scattering like frightened insects. The dreadnought floated silent, its lights dimmed to a faint glow. On the bridge, Amelia collapsed into Mark's arms, exhausted, but alive. Her voice was a whisper. It's over. The ship's deep voice rumbled softly, almost like a sigh. No, this was only the first wave. The swarm will return. Stronger, we must be ready. Amelia closed her eyes, her breathing steady. Then we'll be ready. Earth isn't prey anymore. Not while we have you. Outside, the Black Fleet hovered in the silence of space, the dreadnought at its center, glowing faintly like a watchful predator. The stars were quiet. For now. The solar system was silent. The swarm was gone, retreated into the dark beyond Pluto. For now, debris from the battle floated like frozen snow, glittering in the starlight. Shattered fragments of swarm creatures, glowing red cores extinguished, drifted slowly toward the void. The Black Thyrix dreadnought, Unit 47, hovered in orbit above Earth, surrounded by the drones it had forged. Its golden veins glowed faintly, still recovering from the energy it unleashed. On the bridge, Amelia Cross opened her eyes. She was lying in a chair, her skin pale, her breathing slow. The integration had pushed her to her limit. Mark and Luis were beside her, watching anxiously. You're awake, Mark said softly. Amelia managed a faint smile. I'm alive. Barely. The ship's deep voice rumbled through the walls, calm as ever. The swarm will return. Their loss today will only make them stronger. They will not stop until all energy in this system is consumed. Luis looked out at Earth through the viewport. So we buy a few weeks, maybe months, then they come again, and bigger. The ship pulsed faintly. Correct. But now we have time. Time to prepare. Time to build. Amelia pushed herself to sit up. We won't be alone. The council has to know what happened here by now. As if on cue, the comms flickered. A massive hologram appeared on the Bridge of Council broadcast. The chamber of the Galactic Council, filled with hundreds of alien species, filled the projection. Counselor Varath, the insectoid leader, spoke first. Humans of Earth, we have witnessed the impossible. You destroyed an invasion the council itself could not have stopped. Another delegate, a serpent-like being, hissed. But you wield a weapon. Forbidden to all species, that ship is a danger to the entire galaxy. Surrender it, or the council will. The broadcast cut off. Unit 47's golden veins pulsed brighter as its voice interrupted. Transmission blocked. Their threats mean nothing. They fear us now. They will not act while the swarm. Hunt's Mark crossed his arms. Still, they'll come for us eventually. You know they will. Amelia stood slowly, her golden glowing eyes fixed on the stars. Then we make sure they understand something. She stepped to the center of the bridge. Unit 47. Send a message to the entire council. Every system, every channel. The ship hummed softly. Message. Amelia nodded. Tell them this Earth is no longer prey. We're the hunters now. The swarm comes for all of us. And if you want to survive, you'll stand with us, not against us. The ship's voice rumbled, almost pleased. Message sent. Luis looked at her, uncertain. So, we're just supposed to trust the same aliens who wanted to glass our planet 5 hours ago? Amelia's expression stayed cold. No, but they don't have a choice. The swarm will burn the galaxy. Alone they'll die. With us they might live. The bridge went quiet for a moment. Outside, the Black Fleet drifted in formation, silent, and waiting, as if it knew the war wasn't over. The ship spoke again, its voice deeper now, almost like a growl. My forges will continue to build. More drones, more weapons. To face the true swarm, we must find the others. Frowned. The others, the ship's golden veins brightened. Unit 47 was not the only one buried. The Thyrex made 10 dreadnoughts. Our 9 remained lost across the galaxy. If we find them, the swarm can be hunted. If not, we will be devoured like the rest. Amelia's eyes narrowed. So we're not just defending Earth anymore. Going hunting? Luis let out a low whistle. Great. We just survived 1 apocalypse, and now we're going to look for 9 more monsters. Amelia's lips curved into a small, grim smile. Not monsters. Weapons. And with them, we don't just survive, we end this. The ship's voice whispered, softer now, but every word carried weight. Then our hunt begins. The stars will burn, but Earth will rise. Outside, Unit 47's golden veins flared bright, casting a glow across Earth's orbit. The Black Fleet shifted formation, engines igniting as they turned toward the dark beyond the solar system. The dreadnought's massive silhouette blotted out the stars as it moved forward, and as the fleet vanished into the void, chasing the hidden dreadnoughts and preparing for the next swarm invasion, the galaxy trembled not at the swarm, but at what Earth had now become, not prey, not victims, hunters, the end. For now.